Hello, my lovely. You didn't get to where you are in your business by doing shit the way that everybody else does. And you know that what got you to where you are now is not going to get you to where you want to be. And if you are listening to this podcast, it's because you want to be the go-to for what you do better than anyone else. Your brilliance is the niche. Being you, that bold, unfuckwithable presence that you've secretly been craving to set free, she is in there. And that means you will have to burn some old bridges down. And attracting your people will also repel those who are not for you. Fucking hooray. Becoming a force of nature business and brand means no more Miss People Pleaser, no more hiding your turbo brain, no more dimming down jack shit. And if you have ever been told to tone it down as a woman with ADHD, it's time to tone your shit all the way the fuck back up. That is how you create unstoppable momentum in your business and visibility that is something you've been avoiding, but that you truly want. This podcast is about stepping into your upgrade, watering down anything, never change the fucking world. You were not born to be forgettable. And as one of my all-time favorite quotes says, well-behaved women rarely make history, and nothing about you or me is well-behaved, at least not anymore. In this week's episode, we are going to discuss the number one biggest roadblock to business growth that every single client of mine comes to me with, and how to get to the other side. When I see something happening with my clients over and over and over and over and over again, I not only say something, but sometimes I create something to do something about it too. So be sure to stay all the way through to the end of this episode, because that's where I am going to discuss that part. I know that you will hit this roadblock because of your big, beautiful, brilliant Technicolor brain. And that is not the roadblock. Your brain is not the roadblock. It is actually what makes you amazing at your business and your work. But that brain also craves and thrives on one thing when it comes to your business, and your brain is complicating it. That's a simplified business. And I guarantee you're doing one of two things. You're overcomplicating your business, or you're overcomplicating simplification. It's so common. So if you want true business growth and to grow your mission, but right now you feel stuck as fuck and like you are the internet's best kept secret, you are going to want to hear this episode. Whether you are stuck at 5K months and you want to get to 10K consistently, or you are further down the road and you cannot get past that current revenue wall, you need to pay close attention to everything that I share in today's episode. One more thing. Welcome to my girl gang, the Feral Women's Club. Welcome back to the ADHD Entrepreneu, the podcast for feral ADHD women in business who refuse to play by the fucking rules. My name is Carrie. I'm your host. I am the chief weirdo of Carrie Out Loud. If you are new here, hey. If you are not new here, hey, welcome back. My mission is to help 10,000 female founders who are this close to hitting that 100K year blow past it and grow their mission through ruthless business simplification. You know, it's time to stop the fucking brain chaos and find that clear growth path, and the one that your brain will say a full body fuck yes to. If that's you, you're definitely in the right place. And if this episode has an impact on you, pretty please with a cherry on top, do all the good things, leave a 5-star rating, a review of this episode telling me why it struck a chord, and subscribe so that you will just get an automatic reminder to listen every Wednesday, and then you don't have to think about it. You just get a notification. I understand your ADHD both professionally and personally, because I have it. So everything I share here is my 25 years of business experience and expertise, filtered through the lens of having
these feral fun houses of brains that we have. And one final thing, I don't do this work to be put on a pedestal or to be adored. I am on a mission to help you get the fuck out of your own way and grow beyond that 100K mark, full stop. I do this work so that you can look at somebody with a brain like yours and a big ass foul mouth who is neurodivergent too and has a brain filled with the same kind of magical chaos as yours and say to yourself, well, shit, if she can, so can I. So let's get into today's topic. Having a business that isn't growing will make the most calm ADHD person want to fucking pull their hair out. Our brains are layered, they're complicated, they're beautifully brilliant. And that is why simplifying your business to grow it is the key to getting to where you want to go. The key. And I guarantee one thing about you when it comes to your business right now, you want to simplify it, but you're doing what we do best. Overcomplicating simplification. You are not at the part in your business anymore where you are at the throw the spaghetti against the wall to see if it sticks. You've been around for a little while and you know you need to take the action to simplify your shit, and then you'll overcomplicate it. Because why keep it simple when we can just overcomplicate it? It's like a default setting in our brains, right? So we're going to cover the technical side of what an overcomplicated business looks like, the signs that you're stuck in kind of that overthinking, overdoing, or complexity, and how it's blocking your growth. And this is going to help you identify where you're overcomplicating your shit so you can start to fix those things and get that revenue growth that matches the fucking effort you're putting in. So simplification is not about doing less for the sake of being a minimalist or basic or trendy. It's not about having one offer, one platform, one way to do things just because some guru on Instagram or somebody said that's the way it is. It is not about playing small. It is not about being boring. Here is my actual definition for ADHD entrepreneurs when it comes to simplification. Removing the friction between your effort and your revenue, period. Removing that blockage. And every time you overcomplicate or every time you add a step in your business that's complicated to the way that's challenging to the way your brain works is a tax on your attention. And your attention is one of your valuable resources when it comes to working directly with clients. When your business is complicated, you're spending that attention on shit that doesn't matter. You're managing complexity in your brain. You're managing the complexity of your business instead of generating revenue. This includes things like, and if you feel called out here, good, because that's the point. You ready? This includes, now this is before the 10K mark, maybe even up to 20K. It just really depends on the type of business you have. But here are the things that you are doing to keep yourself quote unquote busy, because busy feels productive, even though it isn't. Having the perfect sales page wording, branding fonts, creating offers for people who are not hiring you yet, making a 100-page ebook that hardly anybody's going to pick up or read because it's so complex, and it's one that you'll redo 10 times because it makes you feel busy. But real simplification is about creating a business that works with your brain, that works with your brain instead of against it. And it is the strategic elimination, the strategic stripping away of what is draining your energy and not giving you a return on your energy, because energy is something that ebbs and flows for us. So we have to pay attention to energy management, right? And so if you're constantly draining your energy on something that is not actually bringing revenue into your business, you're fucking yourself. And that's really why I want to have this conversation with you today. If you have not hit consistent 10K months, I'm not talking about like a random 10K month here or there, but I mean consistent. It's recurring revenue. These are things you do not need to be doing. And I'm going to challenge you to take a look at your business right now. If you do not have recurring revenue of 10K or more, or if you are not at that Kmart, any of those places. You should literally be doing nothing but the following, because the rest is busy work and your brain wants to feel productive. That's why it's making up things for you to do instead of doing what actually grows your business, which I'll tell you in a sec. Here are the things you need: a payment link to a checkout page for your offer, AKA, how can they hire you? Creating content that draws in new eyeballs, top of funnel content that brings new people into your world, and having conversations daily to make connections, to grow your network, and to be in sales conversations in the DMs or clarity calls. Do you know how many of my friends who are 7-figure business owners hit 7 figures before they had a website and the perfect landing page? Especially if you are high ticket, you're having conversations. No one's making a $10 or $15 or $20,000 investment with you on a link and a sales page. They're making that on the connection with you. So if you have your offers and you know who your clients are, focus on the things that I just said. Make sure you have payment link to checkout, not a sales page, a checkout link. Create content that draws in new people and either brings them onto your Instagram, or even better yet, into your email world, or if you have a podcast, any of those kind of things that will bring new people into hearing what you have to say and what you do and who you do it for. And connect, grow your fucking network. The other thing that I left out here that I didn't write in here, but is also key, is give the current clients you have, or the clients who hire you, red carpet service. Give them excellent service. Take amazing care of them. Under promise and over deliver in little special ways. I don't mean over deliver like do 10 more calls with them. Just, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about send them a little gift, send them a book to let them know, a link to a book to let them know that this would be a good book for them to read, like some kind of special touches along the way. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about over delivering like, this comes with templates and this and that and the other thing, because that doesn't mean dick. You're creating things for people that haven't even been asked for. You're assuming that that's what the need is, right? So focusing on these things is it. It is the core of your business, not the pretty website, not the perfect sales page, not the exactly right font that you think you should have. That is all busy bullshit work that does not get you clients directly. Is there a time and a place for those things? Yes. Have I had some form of a website since the beginning? No. I got one probably a few years ago, and I did it myself. I am only now going to be investing in a website because it's what I want. Not because it's like a necessity to my business, but it's an added layer. But you have to get to a certain point first. Connect. It is an overused word, but it is important to have connections with people who say your name in rooms where you aren't, and having conversations, making sure people know how to pay you, and doing that over and over and over again, and building as you go, right? So before hitting that 10K consistently, I mean, month after month after month after month, then you start to add in some of the other layers. The real bottom line here, and why simplicity is the key to growth, is because you, my friend, I'm going to say this more than once. You cannot scale chaos. You cannot scale chaos. One more time. You cannot scale chaos. If you are feeling chaotic right now in your business and you're trying to grow it and you wonder why it's not growing, that's why. You cannot scale what feels chaotic to you and to your brain. You can only replicate it until it breaks you. How do I know? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I know this because I've done it twice. I built 2 6-figure businesses and burned them to the ground from burnout. My whole mission is to make sure you don't fucking do that. A complicated business requires complicated energy. Growth requires having energy available. If you are spending all of your time and all of your ability to have that executive functioning, managing things that are so complex that you have nothing left for the things, the activities, the connection that actually creates business, you don't have a business. And that's not me being an asshole. That's just real. The people who come in and hire you and work with you and collaborate with you and network with you, that is revenue generating. Straight up. The businesses that scale past 6 figures, they're not doing more things. They're doing fewer things with more consistency, depth, and intention. And that's the secret. And as somebody with ADHD, if you're going to sit here and tell me that you can't be consistent or you can't help somebody in depth and you can't be intentional, you're probably listening to the wrong podcast. And I'm not saying that to shame you. It's like you absolutely can do those things in your own way that will work to help you simplify your business. Consistency doesn't mean all day, every day, 365, 24/7. That's not it. But consistency that works for you, that you will do over and over and over again, gets you further. I have had this podcast for over 3 years. I was ADHD as fuck, unmedicated and undiagnosed before that, and I still showed up for the podcast every single week. You can fucking be consistent on the things you want to be consistent on. That is our brain. We are interest-based, right? But doing more is not the secret. The doing all the things approach stops working after a certain point. And that's usually the 5 to 10K month point. That's when you hit that complexity wall. You can hustle enough to get to that 5K with that chaos, but you can't hustle past it. You're going to burn out trying. And again, I'm not saying all these things like this, you're going to fail, you're doing it wrong. That isn't what I'm saying here. I want you to look at what's really going on in your business so that you can simplify it and make your life better every day, day in and day out. I don't want you to burn out trying to get there. I did that. You don't need to do that. You get to take my lessons and not do the shit that I did. What does an overcomplicated business actually look like? This is possibly where you are right now. You may be going through the simplification process. You may have already simplified your business, but if you haven't, it can look something like this. You have multiple offers that compete with each other for your attention and energy instead of stacking strategically. Your content is all over the place. It's different platforms, different messaging, no clear path from them discovering you to hearing you. Someone lands on your Instagram, your website, your podcast, and they can't figure out what you do and who you do it for within 30 seconds. So they're confused, they leave. Think about how short of an attention span you have and go to your Instagram page right now. And without reading your bio, look at your first 9 posts and see, can the person landing there tell what you do and who you do it for fairly quickly without reading your bio? If not, they leave. Okay. I know it sucks, but I just want to be real with you here. Your sales process has way too many steps, too many conversations, too much let me send you more info instead of just one clear path to working with you. You're creating new offers and pivoting your messaging constantly instead of going deep on what you have and what you know you do best. The back end of your business may be or feel like a disaster. You may have multiple tools doing similar things, systems that don't talk to each other, processes that you have to remember instead of just following something that's simple and repeatable. You have offers that are not selling at all, but you're keeping them just in case. Whether that's like having a stand store with 12 different things in it or selling different offers in every piece of content, those kind of things. And the fact that you're on multiple platforms trying to show up everywhere and you feel exhausted. The signs your business is overcomplicated, like the signs of that, the red flags you need to be paying attention to. You're working your ass off, but not seeing revenue growth in proportion to how hard you're working. You're doing so much, but the income coming in is not matching your effort. You feel overwhelmed more often than you feel like you're in flow. Your business feels like it's running you instead of you running it. You can't take time off without everything falling apart because you're the only one who knows all the pieces. You're constantly putting out fires instead of doing proactive work and strategic work that grows your business. When someone asks you what you do, you struggle to answer in one clear sentence. You either over-explain it, justify it, or undersell yourself. You have trouble deciding on what to work on each day because we have ADHD and everything feels fucking urgent. It's urgent. It's urgent. No, everything is not urgent. It's just your brain's default setting. It's not urgent. You're spending more time managing your business than actually delivering the services and offers that you created. You start projects and don't finish them because something else comes up that feels more important or urgent or exciting. You feel like you need more systems, more tools, more structure, or if I could just get organized, but every system you adds another layer of complication, not less. The three main areas I see this technical overcomplication is in three places: your offers, your content, and your delivery. With offers, you have too many offers. They don't build on one another. There's no clear positioning. These offers were created because you saw someone else do it instead of because your clients need it, or you see a need you're filling, or the opposite. You're so afraid to add anything that you're trying to serve anyone and everyone with one offer, and it is not specific enough to sell well to your fuck yes dreamy clients. Your content and sales process, they're not married together. There's no clear, I hate using the word strategy because our brain is like, strategy sucks. No, but having a rhythm, I think a rhythm versus strategy is probably a better word, but there's no clear rhythm to your content and your sales process. So you're creating content that doesn't lead anywhere. You have inconsistent messaging across platforms. You have no home base, so you're anywhere and everywhere. Your sales conversations, they just kind of meander instead of convert because you're not clear on what you're selling and to who. Look, you're not in the beginning of your fucking business anymore. And if you want to keep going the way you are right now, I send you away with love. I don't want to send you away, but I send you so much love. But there has got to be a point in your business, if you want to grow it to where you want to take it to, where you have got to get more intentional and you've got to have some strategy behind the scenes. And that is simplification, like what I'm calling radical simplification, literally cutting anything that does not bring business to you. So when it comes to your content and sales process, they should be one and the same. They should be together. Your content should do most of your sales heavy lifting for you. And then your sales process, super simple, whether that's in the DMs or on a clarity call, it gets to be easier. If you have one way that you do things that feels really good to you, you're going to do that and repeat it with more ease and more often. That alone will get you more sales. Let me go back to content. Content also is about your positioning and your messaging, making sure that you are clear on your positioning within the marketplace, your unique proposition, what makes you stand out, and your messaging. Do you have one or two clear underlying hums to all of your content so that the people reading it, if they go and they start binging your Instagram at 2 a.m, they like really are clear on what the fuck you do because you're spelling it out. The last one is your delivery. You are over delivering to the point of exhaustion. You don't have templates or frameworks or anything behind the scenes that are things you can duplicate for each client or each onboarding or whatever. And everything is from scratch, so it always takes time. And this complicates onboarding and it takes forever. You have too many client touch points. You're trying to customize everything instead of having a repeatable process. I don't mean that your coaching or your service that you offer, any of that is cookie cutter, but having systems that are stupid simple is actually the smartest fucking business plan you can have as somebody with ADHD, because we love the complexity of the work we do. But when it comes to behind the scenes, simple is what grows you. And how our brain comes into this is we are wired. I see this with my clients all the fucking time in conversations. And in myself, when I have a conversation with my own coach, We see all the possibilities, all the connections, all the opportunities. We see it all. This is part of our secret sauce for creativity, for innovation, but it becomes like fucking kryptonite when we are trying to execute this all at one time. You struggle with eliminating things because it feels like you're closing a door of some sort and your brain's like, but what if I need that later? But if it's about everything, that's like business hoarding. You have to let go of certain things as you grow to make room for what is supposed to become. And I know that we get bored easily, so we add new things to keep it interesting instead of going deep on what's already working. What do we like more than novelty? Mastery. We like to know things deeply. And we often will like over research instead of implementing because we need to find the perfect way to do something before we start. Fuck that. The research and the prepping and all of that. And I'm not talking about little parts and pieces that you do. I'm talking about like all the time. If that's what you're doing, if you're researching and you're putting everything together before you put everything out into the world, you're not being paid to build your business. You're putting together something that you are not even sure if it's going to go anywhere. And you are not having conversations with human beings. You're behind the scenes doing all of these things that you don't need to be doing yet. And so how do you even start to simplify, especially as somebody with a brain who, like I keep joking, overcomplicates simplification? First, it's awareness. You have to become aware. You can't fix what you can't see. You can't change or shift or tweak what you can't see. So you need to look at your business honestly and really identify where is the complexity? Where is it overcomplicated? Where is there a system that has 5 or 6 steps that should have 2? See where it's living. Audit these 3 things. What makes you money, what's taking your energy, and what's actually clear to your ideal client. That's a revenue audit, your energy audit, and clarity audit. Is it very fucking clear what you do? You need filters. These are like decision-making filters that will help you know what stays and what goes. And without having these filters, especially for brains like ours, you're making just arbitrary decisions based on how you feel that day. And that's how you end up having things complicated again in 6 months. The work is in the specifics of your business, not general advice. What needs to be simplified in your business is different than what needs to be simplified in mine, or the lady or person you're looking to the left, and your coach you're looking to the right, and this service provider you're looking to the left. Like, none of that matters because it isn't specific to you. So how do you stop overcomplicating simplification? How do you simplify in a way that's truly going to shoot you forward, especially, in the new year? I, after seeing this over and over and over again for the last few years, finally was like, you know what? I need to put together a version of my deep dive, my 90-minute deep dive that I talk about, and teach this in a way that can go to more people. And so the way that I'm doing that is I created a boot camp called Unfuckwithable. And this is a 3-day business simplification boot camp, but it's very specific. It's designed for ADHD women in business who are really, truly ready to stop overcomplicating everything and grow. And it's interactive. It's going to be happening in real time over those 3 days. This is a laptop open workshop style 3 days. And there's a VIP option if you want it for the 4th day that you can get my eyeballs on your business. It is November 18th, 2025, and the workshop is going to start December 2nd. There is access right now, and there are VIP spots open. And over the 3 days, we're going to do the actual work of simplifying your business, not just talking about it, but actually auditing your offers, your content, messaging, delivery, and making the tweaks, decisions, and cuts that will create your business shooting forward in the way that you want it to shoot forward. So I will put the link to the boot camp. It's a whopping $47. I should be charging way more for it, but I want to get this process out to as many of you as I can because, man, do we overcomplicate simplification. It's fucking hilarious. I do it too. Why do you think I have to have a coach? I'll run something by. Nope, that's way too much. Gets to be less is more. Less is more. So jump into the boot camp. You can hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions at Carry Out Loud. And with that, I am going to end today's episode. To get into my world besides here on the podcast, you can do that one of two ways. Keep up with the latest and greatest in my newsletter, The Frequency, that is exclusively for late diagnosed or self-identified ADHD women in business. That link is in the show notes. And if the workshop isn't for, or the bootcamp workshop isn't for you, but you are interested in one-on-one time with me, or even the sisterhood, which is my hybrid mastermind, and you just generally want to talk about simplifying your business and what that looks like, also shoot me a DM on Instagram at Carry Out Loud, or you can go into the show notes and jump on to my calendar there. It's a 30-minute call. It's not a coaching call. I'll get to know you and your business and your goals, your desires, and we will see if it is a match to work together. I will let you know if I can help. If I can't, I will guide you to somebody who can. So until next week, I see you. I love you, and I am fucking rooting for you always. Stay feral, bitches. Bye. Oh, hey, you're still here. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. Be sure to check out the show notes for all the ways to follow me. And of course, my goal is to find and help as many women with ADHD get away from the 9-to-5 grind, because it's just not designed for our neurospicy brilliance, and there are other ways to do life. So by subscribing, sharing, and giving a 5-star review, it helps other women find this podcast as well. And if there's an episode you really love, please feel free to take a screenshot and share it on your social and tag me in it so that I can thank you personally. Until next time, you spicy brained unicorn. Bye.